He sticks the landing. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the hottest new podcast in the world right now. Don't fact check me. Welcome to The Verdict. It is the one and only superpower man of the hour here, your host, your confidant, your end all be all, the guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a good guy. I'm just the guy. Don't copyright me, WWE. The Roman Reigns said it. Okay, it wasn't me. I apologize. Anyway, what is up, guys? Thank you all for coming back to the show. Thank you all for joining me for another brilliant episode of The Verdict, the show where I talk your ear off for a considerable amount of time about topics that you may or may not enjoy, and I give you my opinion that you may or may not have asked for. It's a pretty good rundown of this show. But yes, welcome back to the show. I hope you have enjoyed yourself so far. This is episode 3. That's right. I speak Spanish. Not well, so don't quote me. But yeah, welcome back. This is episode 3 of the show. And I'm having a lot of fun doing it so far. Like I've said, this is a passion project of mine, and I'm really glad that I have been able to make it happen and make it come true and make it a reality so far. So yeah, here we are. This is it. This is the big deal. So thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you so much. So anyway, we're gonna get right into it. I thought I would talk today to you all about why I'm in the entertainment industry in the first place, and why I am doing this show, why I'm doing this podcast. Let you all in on that. So if you don't know me, I am a huge lover of all things comic books, Marvel, DC, even some anime. My anime expertise is not as great as some of my friends out there who are really into anime, but I'll dabble. You know what I mean? I'll dabble in that dimension from time to time. Not the dark dimension, but the anime dimension. Um, but I love all things comic books, superheroes. That's my jam. But I love movies as well. Different types of movies. There are only two movie genres that I absolutely despise, and that's rom-coms and horror films. Even though I've seen a bunch of horror films, I still hate them so much because I'm a scaredy cat. Get over it. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, we get over it, you get over it. No, I don't want to. So there. But yeah, no, I love entertainment. I love movies. I love music. I love TV shows. I love all that stuff. It's like that is what I want to do with the rest of my life. That's what I plan to do with the rest of my life. That's what I'm here at Cal State East Bay trying to do with the rest of my life. Baby steps, guys, baby steps. But yeah, and I just thought I'd sort of give you a little inside scoop as to why that became. Oh wow, that's so cool. I created like this. I've been playing with this rubber band. I don't even want to touch it now. I've been playing with this rubber band that sort of came apart, and so now it's no longer in a circle. Like there's one up here. I think maybe. Oh, yep, there it is. Right. So here you go. So rubber band, right? Actual rubber band. But there was another one that was a little bit bigger and a little bit thinner. And that one sort of tore. So now it doesn't look like this. It looks like a straight line, right? And I was just messing with it, fiddling with it, and I threw it down on my desk, and it's like in this weird little, I don't know. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, right, entertainment. um, yeah, so I used to, as a kid, I was always very like, you know, like I said, into the superhero stuff. I think superheroes are what got me into wanting to do entertainment because I've always played pretend when I would go to parks or even at my house in the front yard, backyard, wherever I was. Really, always played pretend. I'm a superhero. I'm saving the day. I'm doing things like that. Love it. When movies would come on that I've seen a bunch of times, like Daredevil, the one with Ben Affleck that no one really talked about. That one. I would do that a bunch of times. I would, say the lines, do the actions all the time. The old school Fantastic Four, the Ghost Rider, like all that stuff when I was growing up. That was what I was into. That's what I wanted to do. I loved that stuff. And then, Marvel movies got better. and more interesting and more exciting with the MCU coming around. And that still didn't change that I was gonna act out Iron Man if I could, and do the Avengers if I could, where the big action shot where we're all standing in a circle looking up at the Chitauri, all that. I love it. It's great. Um, and so then, I finally decided, okay, let me actually like try and do this. So I auditioned for my school play in third grade, when it really was supposed to be, not third grade, fourth grade. Um, and I ended up being the Cowardly Lion in The Wizard of Oz, and I was the youngest lead in that show, because everyone else were fifth graders, but I was the youngest lead in that show, and I was like, "Wow, okay, that's cool." And I did the Wizard of Oz. I had a great time doing that. I loved being the lion. It was awesome, really good character for me. And then fast forward the next year, I'm Grandpa Joe in Willy Wonka, and that was a fun time, brilliant time for me. And so that really kicked off this journey that I have been on, since fourth grade was 2012, 2013, something like that, 2013, 2014. So almost 10 years I've been doing this acting stuff. And it's been a really, really fun time. Fast forward to middle school where I can't, act anymore and can't get into any of that stuff because they didn't have that elective for the middle school that I went to, Eastside College Prep, shout out to them. And so I get involved with the Palo Alto Children's Theater, which is not too far from me and not too far from where Eastside is. Eastside's located in EPA. EPA stand up. Um, and so I get involved in the Palo Alto Children's Theater and I do a show there. And it was the show that I was meant to do. Um, the show was called Adventures of a Comic Book Artist, and it starred me as the main character, the main protagonist, Stanley Leonardo Sapovitz, I think. The running joke was that my boss, who was like a satirical version of J. Jonah Jameson, could never pronounce my name. Susan Mawat, Skipovitz, Sasquatch, like, but I was like Sapovitz, Stanley Leonardo Sapovitz, something like that. Anyway, so I do that show. Great, great fun, a great job. Loved it. I do two more shows at the Palo Alto Children's Theater. One of them being Xanadu. Time of my life doing Xanadu. Love that show. I got to be the lead in that as well. And then I did Emma, which was a pop musical. That was interesting. But uh, yeah, I actually remember inviting one of my really good friends, Chris, who you will always hear about. I remember inviting him to the show, and I was like, and at the time this was high school, and he was like, nah, I don't know if I really go. And so like in order to like get him to like to entice him to go, I was like, yo, I have a kissing scene in this one, and he's like, oh word, I'm there. And I didn't lie to him. Let me just put that out there. I did not lie to him on purpose just to get him to come see me in the show. That's not what happened. It's just that the scene got cut. There's a difference. But no, really, it was supposed to be a kissing scene in that show. I remember it, and the person that I was supposed to kiss, like we were really good friends. We were like, well, it is what it is. It's part of the show. It's what happens. It's show business, whatever. But the director, just thought better about it. I was like, you know what? No, scratch it. We'll cut it. We're like, okay. We didn't really care. But then when show day came and it came part to the time where it was supposed to happen, um, and it didn't happen, I could hear a groan in the audience, in the back, and I knew exactly who it was. And it was my homie Chris. And we're still, homies to this day. That's my boy. That's my brother. But yeah, I just thought that was like really fun. I was like, it's you do what you got to do to get people in seats. Am I right? Um, but really, at the time, even still at the time, acting was never more than just a hobby for me, and performing and entertaining was never more than just a hobby for me. I knew I could make people laugh, and I enjoyed that part. I enjoyed being able to make people laugh. That was fun. That was cool. I enjoyed that part. But I didn't think that I was going to like make that a career, make it a profession. I didn't think that way. I didn't think that that was going to be where I went because it just didn't seem like what I wanted to do. And every time someone asked me, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" I had no idea, none whatsoever. Um, but then I found this place, this wonderful place called the Young Actors Theater Camp, and it was because of the Young Actors Theater Camp that I was able to find my passion in this industry, and I was able to find myself in this business, and I was able to find out that I'm actually really good at this performing thing, at this entertainment thing, and I love it, and it's the only thing I want to do. And they made me realize that I could make a career out of this, and that I could make this my profession if I wanted to, and that's what I decided to do, and that's what I'm going to do. And so since then, July of 2018, way back when, that is what I've been. I've been a part of Yaddick ever since, and I love that place. And it they have um, they have changed me for the better in so many ways, and they have made me stronger and more confident than I ever thought possible. And I owe so much to that place. They don't even understand the amount of gratitude I have for them. But I love that place, man. I will forever be eternally grateful for the Actors Theater Camp and the good people over there. Um, and so this past summer, summer of 2022, was my final summer there as a camper, and it was great because I got to do Into the Woods. And if you know musicals, if you know Broadway, Into the Woods is a very very great show. So good show. Um, Such a good show. I don't know what's going on with my grammar today. Don't ask. It was great. Sondheim, very challenging, but also incredibly brilliant. Um, so that was a really fun artistic challenge for me to take on. I played the wolf and Cinderella's prince, and I think honestly, I think I was able to have the most fun in the show. I really, really do. Um, I got to play the bad guy, which I really, really love. I love playing the bad guy, even though I don't get the bad guy roles often, because of how well I can play straight and how I can play main protagonist, good guy, who everything happens for, which is not life. Trust me, it's not life. But I also enjoy playing characters with a little bit more weight and a little bit more bones in the closet. I love that. So if I can play a bad guy, awesome. If I can play a good guy with a really, really rough past or a really, really rough sense of morality, heck yeah, I'm all on board. Let's go. I played Pinky in the show Juvie one time. I loved it. People hated me in that show, right? Like once we were done filming, like once well, not filming, but once we were done, once that show was over at my high school, my friends would just talk to me in everyday life and be like, "Yo, I hated you in that show." I was like, "Good, yeah, hate me. I want you to hate me. Good." But no, I like it. It makes me really happy when people like when that happens. Like when people can convey that emotion, like convey the emotion that I want you to feel. I want you to feel like you want to sock me in the chin. Like I want that. Yes, good. It means I'm doing my job. And so once I did the Wolf and Cinderella's Prince, one of my friends, one of my good friends who came to see the show, she was like, "You did really good." My friend said that you and the witch were their favorite characters. And I was like, "Oh, that's awesome." How'd my wolf song go? Because that wolf song, it was very challenging to try and get to that place for sure. But I think I pulled it off, and it was really good fun. And I have to give so much credit and love and appreciation to my scene partner in that one, and really my scene partner while I was the wolf, Peyton Iwasaki. And I hope that when you watch this episode, if you watch this episode, I said your last name right. If not, butcher me in the comment section or butcher me, text me and butcher me. I'll take it. But Peyton Iwasaki, incredible talent, very, very genuine individual, very sweet person, very adorable. And she played Little Red Riding Hood, and she could not have been a better Little Red for me to play off of and for me to try and devour and eat. And I I just really appreciate her vulnerability in that scene in that song in particular, and how open she was, and how comfortably uncomfortable she was in that to be in that situation because it's an uncomfortable song. Like if you've seen Into the Woods, if you watch the movie, even the Disney movie, or if you watch the show on YouTube, it's an uncomfortable song. It really, really is. And so for her to handle it with so much grace, so that I could be able to perform to the best of my abilities, thank you so much, Peyton. It was so much fun, and I could not have asked for a better scene partner. I really could not have. Um, but yeah, so I was asking how my wolf song went, and they were like, it was really good, kind of scary, low key. And I was like, yes, love that. My whole thing with acting is that it has to be emotional. Like emotions have to be drawn, even if the emotion is like, whoa, that's crazy. I would never let that happen to me. Like some kind of emotion, some kind of reaction. That's what I yearn for. Like that's my goal as an actor is to make emotions. Like I want emotion to be felt. I want emotion to be seen. You know, like I need it. I crave it. And that audience interaction and that audience participation, participation. Um, that's what I need, and that's what I feed off of. And so when I hear the audience go "ooh" or "wow" or "you're shady" or "that's messed up" or even "boo," boo me. I don't care if the role calls for it. Boo me. Don't boo me because I'm doing a bad job as an actor. Don't boo Judge Cantrell. Boo the wolf. Boo Cinderella's prince because he's got skeletons in his closet too. But yeah, I don't mind that. Boo me for sure. I'm not above being booed. I love that. Um, but yeah, so I realized that, entertainment is so much more than you just getting up on stage and doing your thing and singing your song and saying your lines. And it's all about how you connect with that audience. And it's all about if you can, get that audience invested not only in your character, but get the audience invested in the show through your character. If the audience doesn't care about the show, until you get on stage and then you get on stage and they're captivated and they're hooked and they're locked in, and then you get off that stage and they're back out of it and they're like, man, I want that guy to come back out here. He was killing it. He was really funny. I love that. And then you come back out there and then they're on the edge of their seat again and they're pumped up and they're looking like, yeah, let's go. What is he about to do next? That's what I kill for. That's it. Now you know you've got them hooked, right? And now you know that you can do no wrong in their eyes, right? Even if they're like, oh, you're a trash human. I can't believe you did that to her or him or them or whatever, right? You still got them hooked, and you still can do no wrong in their eyes because you're doing what they want you to do. You're giving them a show. You're giving them someone to hate, someone to love, someone to cheer for, someone to root against. You're doing all those things, right? So that's why I love uh, doing this business. That's why I got into this business, or I guess that's why I do this business now. But I assume I I guess you could say I got into this business in the first place just because I knew that there was nothing else for me out there that I wanted to do. Nothing else was really clicking for me. Until I had to do this. It was this or nothing, right? Like, even if I'm not, gonna be the next person on that big screen, even though Miles Morales is my role and nobody else's, nobody else. But even if that isn't the way in which the cards work for me, and that's not how the dice rolls, and that's not what God's plan is, that's fine. I love teaching acting. I've learned that now that I love teaching acting and teaching techniques and directing, others in the ways of acting, comedic acting, dramatic acting, whatever it is. I enjoy it, right? I enjoy teaching kids and other people about it. So even if the big screen or even the small screen or even the stage, even if that's not where I go with this, I'm still going to be doing this in some capacity. Whether I'm teaching the next superstar, whether I'm teaching, the next music icon, it doesn't matter. I just want to be a part of this business in whatever way possible. So that's that. That's what it is. If I had to give a final verdict for this episode or this story, find what you love, do it, be the best at it, so long as you're having fun. I don't care if you're the best at it, but you're miserable. Stop it. Stop doing it. Go do something else. Go find something that you're terrible at, but you have so much fun being terrible at it. Um, the reason I played baseball for so long was because I was having so much fun. I'm not good at baseball. I'm not. Same with basketball. I have a basketball tournament coming up in less than 10 days at this point, at the time of this recording. Yeah. I have a basketball tournament coming up in less than 10 days. I am not good at basketball, but I play it because I love it and it's fun. Same with baseball. But I found this, and not only did I realize I'm good at it, I enjoy it, I love it, it's fun. I don't need anything else, right? All the other stuff, that'll come if it's meant to, right? The money, the financial means, because at the end of the day, you still got to pay bills, you still got to provide for a family, provide for yourself, even, right? But that stuff will come in time, as so long as I'm still doing this because I love it and not because I need to, and not because I have to, right? Like Obviously, the age old saying, work shouldn't feel like work. But it's so true. It's so true. Find what you love, find your passion, and try your best to be as good as you possibly can at it while having fun. And if you find that you cannot have fun while you're doing it, whether you're good or bad at it, that is when you know it's time to go. Um, so, if I had to put a final verdict on this episode, I would say do what you love so long as it allows you to be happy, fulfilled, and as long as it allows you to prosper and be successful. Whatever those words mean to you, whatever prosperity and whatever success looks like, feels like, sounds like, whatever that is for you, if you can do it and you found your calling and you know what you're supposed to do, go do it. Let the good Lord take care of the rest. All right. That's my final verdict. That has been another episode of The Verdict. Thank you all so much for coming into the courtroom for another session with me. I appreciate it. Thank you all for your time. Like this one, if you're on the YouTube, like, share, comment, subscribe to JCENT for more videos, more Verdict podcast. If you would like to find me on other streaming platforms, I can give you the thing you should look up. Just go to, and I'll try and put this in front of my face here somewhere, but just go to rss.com/podcasts, plural, slash the verdict show slash. Yeah, I know it's a lot, so I'll try and put it in front of me somewhere so you can see it. Ta-da! I don't know how that works. I'm new at editing. We'll see. But yeah, make sure you share this podcast because it's so important that you share this. Spread the word. Let your friends know. Let your aunts know. Let your uncles know. Your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your cousins, your pet. Let them know. Let the banana sitting in the corner of the room for no reason because you forgot to move that banana after your mom told you, "Hey, move the banana." Okay, and then you sat there listening to me talk on and on about how much I love this business, and then you forgot to move the banana. Go move the banana. Before you move the banana, tell the banana to subscribe to the Verdict podcast. I'm Judge Cantrell. I'll see you on the next one.